Thank you, Madam Speaker. And Conservatives will be supporting this motion. I'm a Member of Parliament from the West Coast, and obviously seafood, fisheries and fishing have been part of Canada's, British Columbia's history. Right from time began with the First Nations. You know, it's very fine to have a motion, which we support on National Seafood Day, but it really camouflages the, I would say, inaction of the Liberals, backed by the NDP, on the fisheries front. They're really not getting anything done. But really, their policies have been targeted to reduce fishing and the fisheries. They've mismanaged the whole sector, and I've visited different communities where the fishing industry is really important, met with industry officials, owner-operators. This industry, their livelihoods are under attack. It is a growth industry for the Liberals. In what sense? Well, they put $300 million into the industry on the West Coast, of which almost all of it is allocated towards 200 new bureaucrats. They're building up the bureaucracy, and they're not really making any difference on the ground. They're making things actually really worse. For example, the marine protected areas, which are basically closing down very significant areas of the coastline to fishing. And we've had order paper questions into some of the different issues with these marine protected areas, including also with the killer whales. This is the southern resident killer whales, the no transient areas. We've had questions saying, well, how many whales actually go through this area? What times of the year? Has there been a difference? It's because it's sealing off areas for harvesting and for fishing. And the response has been, good question, we don't know. We don't know what's going on. So basically they're implementing their policies willy-nilly and impacting, destroying the livelihoods of many British Columbians by their unscientific policies that are cutting off, that are taking off significant areas from fishing. And you know, one of the biggest issues that there's almost unanimous consent regarding protecting the fisheries and actually seeing it grow, the growth in the industry, has to do with seals. Madam Speaker, you realize that 97% of the unnatural deaths to the fish salmon is not by fishing, which is 3%, but 97% is actually done through seals. I had one of the councillors from one of the First Nations that in my region, and said, you know, the seals are destroying the salmon catch, and there's nothing being done about this. And the ministers, the Liberal ministers, sit on their hands and aren't doing anything. And I'm looking forward to a Conservative government that will bring some common sense. And another issue that is of great importance is the area of owner-operators. Conservatives under the Harper government made it so that the owner-operators the boats had to be, those that own the boats had to be the owners. It wasn't just going to be to the big corporations. And the fisheries, Department of Fisheries just seems to be lazy. They rather deal with 2 or 3 big companies rather than a lot more of the smaller owner-operators that live in the communities, that provide jobs in the community, that actually bring the fish back to the communities to get processed for corporations that will process the fish on the ships or take them up to Alaska. It's very frustrating, Madam Speaker, for the fishers, because they feel that their communities are being undermined by this Liberal NDP government. There needs to be some changes, and that's what we do support as far as the Conservative Party, to put the power back into the owner-operators,